Welcome back to Chrono Trigger. We're gonna finish up the rest of this god dang factory.
Yep.
I think I mentioned this the last time I did it. But this particular one I don't really care about because it feels like we're literally just redoing the factory dungeon that we did the first time we got Robo on our team.
Also, I see you got everyone's highest level tech except Magus.
Except Magus. And that's gonna happen regardless because by the time you get to everyone's side quests, that's when you just got Magus. So unless you've been grinding,
Yeah.
he's probably not gonna learn Dark Matter until you finish everybody's side quests.
Yeah, and by the time you face Lavos, it's like, oh, hey, now I can use that freaking great-ass tech I have.
Well, if you go through the Black Omen, you're gonna get Dark Matter. Unless you're purposely not using Magus, in which case, why did you get him anyway?
So I'm assuming you're going to have Magus in the party at all times so he could get his tech?
Oh yeah. He's gonna be in my final party when I go fight Lavos.
Understandable.
Typically, who I like to use against Lavos is either Magus or Ayla. So...
Why not both? With Chrono.
Well... Because if my party is Chrono, Magus, and Ayla, I have no healer.
You don't need no stinking healer. You got.
Yes, you do.
You just gotta stock up on a shit ton of Lapis.
Yeah. So that way, when Lavos group hits me for 500 damage and 2 of my 3 party members die, I'm fucked. Spoiler alert, Lavos is the final boss, but the game's pretty much been telling you that since the first time you came to this time period, so it's not really a spoiler.
Bro, you just spoiled the whole game for me. I'm walking away now. No, actually, no. I'm not.
Except for especially the fact that Gaspar said, hey, you want to go fight Lavos right now? You could. He'd probably kill you, so you should probably do all these side quests first.
Yep.
You also probably should deal with, the fact that Zeal's kind of taken over three-fourths of the time period itself.
Yeah.
So, the Black Omen's kind of just hovering around 3 time periods.
Like, it's hovering over 12,000... 12,600, 1,000... Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
She's technically in every time period except for 65 million. But you can't deal with her in the future because the planet's already dead anyway, so stopping her is kind of pointless.
Yeah. The way I always understood it when I was younger, though, I always thought that, like, even if after the world is destroyed, that they could at least give you the option to, because for some reason I always understood that the Black Omen transcended time, so if you went in to do it in one period, then you technically went into it in all the other periods.
It does, because otherwise Zeal would be long dead.
Well, maybe it just grants immortality in some way.
Theoretically, I guess Zeal is immortal, even though she's really not.
I suppose so.
It's weird. I think it's, like, they never really explain that, but I guess she's, like, attached to the Black Omen somehow, which is why she can exist in all time periods.
Right.
It's like, I mentioned this a long time ago, too. It's like the game wants you to believe that Zeal's the main villain, but really she's just being used by Lavos the entire time. So maybe that's why she's technically immortal, because Lavos is technically immortal?
Maybe. It's a little weird with the way they explain that, but I wouldn't blame the Woolsey translation, but...
Well, they explain Lavos being immortal pretty well. He's just a parasite that can travel through time and space.
Yep.
So he's not technically immortal, he can just time travel whenever the fuck he feels like. So I'm guessing that also means that because the Black Omen is attached to Lavos' power, that means that it has the ability to transcend time and space, which technically makes Zeal immortal.
I guess. I can't even remember what you're supposed to do with that.
I have to turn the power on, which means I have to go this way. Again, this is pretty much the same as the first time we went through this when we first had Robo. I don't understand why Robo's side quest is literally just redoing the first half of the future part again, but That's why I said, like, I have nothing against Robo, but for some reason his side quest is the most boring, like, the most rehashy of all the side quests.
Also, I just understood that, like, the original versions of these enemies were called debuggers, and now these ones are called debuggist.
Yeah.
So it's like debug, debugger, debuggist. It's like, what?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I can't really give this dungeon too much shit for doing it because Ozzy did the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, he's just like no, you're not getting there.
Yeah, this part is kind of a puzzle, but not really.
It's more of like a no, what's the word? It's more of a labyrinth. Like you're supposed to figure out where to go first in order to unlock some little spot on another part of the map. But technically, you could just call it a dungeon. It's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, here's the new stuff. Now we can actually control, like, the entire factory from within it. Unlike last time where we could only, like, we had to go through 2 different factories. One to open one, and then one to go through just to get out of the future. That was a bitch. It's like you had to open the factory in order to get to the other factory that the Epoch was in.
Yeesh.
And they were almost identical. They were almost the same frickin' dungeon, too. As far as I remember.
Now, what's this about a doll?
Oh yeah, that's the Poyozo doll. That little thing in the top left corner there that we saw. That's the doll that we need.
But what purpose does it serve?
We'll figure that out. But first off, in order for us to get said doll, we have to open well, the first one's being guarded by that robot, so we can't do anything about that. And the other one is behind that locked door, so we have to open the door first.
Good to see that these things just go down in one hit, almost.
Well, at this point I'm just over leveled because if you haven't run from a single battle the entire game, you should have no trouble with any dungeon at all. With the exception of the Black Omen, only because the Black Omen has like 4 bosses in a row.
Yeesh.
12 if you want to go through it 3 times. So yeah, we just have to wander around and look for stuff. I think what happened here is I was double checking my notes to make sure which way I was supposed to go because I'm like, I know this is supposed to do something, and then I remembered, oh wait, I haven't activated it yet. That's what this is for. There we go. You press the left switch, the right switch, and that opens that. And now we just have to turn the power on.
Now, how do we do that?
And yeah. Well, we need there's a reason why we need Robo in our main party for this. Not only is he the only one that could open this factory, he's also the only one that can operate all the machines. So we need to go power up Robo so that he can be used as a battery to open these doors. The game doesn't explain that to you in any way. You just have to figure it out.
I guess. I'm trying to remember myself. I haven't done I haven't played Chrono Trigger in a while, but I haven't touched like the side quests of it even in an even longer while, if that makes any sense.
No, I can understand. The side quests are usually most of the side quests, I should say, are pretty forgettable in this game. I mean, mainly because most of them, pretty much all of them can be done in less than 30 minutes if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is one of the few ones that is actually kind of hard, only because it's an actual puzzle. Everybody else's is just a standard dungeon. And past me is just not remembering how to turn the power back on.
I don't even remember myself, so...
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh, right. That's what.
So you go into that, and now this doesn't last. This electricity doesn't last forever. So you just have to go in there and run. You have like a minute, I think, before it turns off, which seems like a lot of time.
I think that was 10 to 15 seconds right there.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of time, but you really don't. And also, I can't get that Poyozo doll yet because I have to activate I have to get something else. And thankfully, I remembered to go back this way, because otherwise I'd have to run all the way around.
Right, and then you'd have to power yourself up again in order to get to that door again.
Yeah. I also like that all the side quests basically force you to use all your party members again, instead of just being like, hey, you want to just use Chrono the entire time?
They're really emphasizing,
so like, hey,
they're emphasizing the fact that, oh, hey, Chrono is no longer necessary in your party. Just do whatever.
Really, the only character they didn't take into consideration is Magus, only because you can potentially just not have Magus on your team.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes there's a speed tab there. It's really hard to see it, but it is there. But as I said, like, it kind of makes Magus's side quest feel kind of like they gave Frog 2 side quests.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, like, well, technically one of them is just one that kind of goes over, like, almost all the time periods, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's the Black Omen. Technically, the Black Omen is considered a side quest.
Yeah. But then I was also thinking the one with a certain boss that annoys the crap out of me.
Oh.
If I'm remembering
I think
correctly.
I know which one. I think I remember which one you're referring to.
It's also in this it's also in this time period, so yes, it's exactly who the.
So it might be the one that we're going to be going to right now.
No.
Oh no! I know I know who you're talking about.
Fuck that boss.
That's to get Chrono's best weapon.
Fuck that boss.
Yeah, he's probably the hardest boss in the entire game.
More annoying than anything else.
No, he's probably the hardest boss next to Specchio's final form. And Specchio's final form I don't count because that's optional. I mean, technically that one's optional too, but it's optional to get the best weapon in the game. You don't really get anything for beating Specchio.
Man, everything's optional. Screw it. Screw it all.
Well, I mean, basically all Specchio does is give you a bunch of healing, gives you a bunch of tabs, or capsules if you're playing the 3DS version. Or DS version, I'm sorry.
The way I always imagined it, like, the tabs are just like tablets that you just, like, consume. But, capsules works fine, too. But then when I hear capsule, I also think Dragon Ball, where just, like,
I think
the little capsules that they have.
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of what it is. It's like a reference to Dragon Ball, and also, like, medical capsules, like, pills. It's just the capsules sounds better than tablets because tabs are like, what the fuck is a tab?
Put it on my tab.
It's like, man, this is hard. Let me order a tab. Oh, no time for that. The computer's starting.
Shit.
Also, apparently, whoever's controlling this factory right now is turning everyone into robots.
Shit.
Fuck, maybe the Sigma virus exists in this time period and now it's infecting everything. Damn it, Sigma!
Nah, either that or humans are bastards. In a way.
Well, that could be a thing. Also, I am like, wait a sec, I didn't realize that they were still going to be using their animation there. It's like, whoops. I forgot that, like, ladder climbing animation is the same animation they use for dancing. Also, I think I saw a spark there. That was probably a capsule, but fuck it.
Oh.
Now I'm just trying to remember where to go from here. Because this is the only dungeon in the game where I actually kind of get legit lost. And that's not because I don't know where I'm going, it's because everything looks the same.
Yeah.
Not to mention that it literally is the exact same thing as you did the first time you were here, so... There we go. That's what I was doing. It's like, because there's tabs here, and I knew I was missing a bunch of them. And yes, I do end up using them before I go into the Black Omen. I always wait till I get to the Black Omen before I start using tabs.
Of course.
And if you really want to, once you're in the Black Omen, you can just grind for as many tabs as you want.
Shit.
Assuming you want to keep fighting guys over and over and having Aelith steal them. But that is a way you can get max stats, but you don't need max stats to beat this game.
No, I mean, like, you could easily break this game, but do you want to break it even further?
Well, apparently it wasn't broken enough because the DS version made it even more broken.
Exactly.
It was like, hey...
You want to just shatter this game?
It's like, hey, you want 80% critical? Well, how about 90% critical hits?
Just forget about never hitting not having critical, because you'll have it just
Except
about all the time.
And then you go and fight Lavos, and then the one time you do it, he doesn't critical, and he's like, fucking Chrono. Anyway, fuck these laser guards. They they explode for some reason if you don't kill them in one hit. Which you would think would also damage the robots next to it, but no.
Nah, just robot logic, I guess.
Also, every time I look at Magus' sprite, it looks like he's ready to punch something, but he's supposed to be holding a scythe.
Yeah, I've always imagined that too, just like, yeah. It's like, who wants some fists? Well, too bad, I got I got scythe for you.
It's like for some reason Square decided not to draw the scythe in his idle animation. But it's there when he slashes things, so I don't get it.
Maybe it's implying that like he uses. Maybe it's because he uses the scythe so quick you can't even really see it.
Maybe. Anyway, I apologize for our commentary. It's just this is literally the same freaking dungeon that we did the first time when we first got Robo.
Yep. It's not the exact same. It's like a different location, but it's
yeah. The puzzles are a little different, but it may as well be the same thing.
Yeah, just looks like the
right
same.
Here is
it doesn't look interesting at all.
It's like that's the same hallway we went down before we started fighting those 6 robots. Except now instead of fighting the R series robots, we gotta go fight the mother brain computer because Metroid references. Speaking of Metroid, I assume you got. Did you get? Oh wait, there's a tab there. That should be my hint. Every time I'm hesitating, it's probably because there's a tab in the room somewhere and I'm not remembering exactly where it is. But anyway, speaking of Mother Brain. Did you end up actually getting Samus Returns for 3DS yet?
Yeah, I just haven't touched it in like a couple weeks, just because for the last 2 weeks I've had no days off.
Ah.
I'm going to try to get back into that, because if I remember correctly, the last upgrade I got was... Hang on, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It wasn't Plasma Beam, I don't think it was that.
Gravity Suit?
No, not Gravity Suit. I think it was Space Jump.
Ah.
So yeah, I don't think I'm even that far into it, because I hear isn't there like 10 areas you gotta go through? And I think I'm barely like on area 5.
Yeah, they added a couple new areas. Because it may as well just be Super Metroid 2 at this rate. Just having to kill 100 Metroids instead of just going around doing stuff. Yeah, see, look at all these tabs I have, and now at this point I'm just like, do I just use them now? It's like, I don't know. I've been hoarding them this entire playthrough and deciding if I should save it. Because I thought to myself, like, should I just save them until I get to the Black Omen? Because at that point, that's when I'm never going to need to use them again. And I'm just like, I don't need them right now. If I use them now, then it just negates everything I've already been doing. I mean, they only raise stats by 1 point at a time, but... Like, I don't know. Oh, this is the part that sucks. This is the part that I hate the most. Because I think this is when I have to get that frickin' robot. No, no, that's what it is. Turn that on.
Oh there God, we go. You crushed Isla. How could you?
It's like, I have to turn the power on again, and then I have to sprint all the way around this hallway to power up that computer up there. Yeah.
You're like, alright, how fast can I do this?
This is going to be a problem, especially if I haven't turned the power on for it yet. Past me, go over to the left. There you go.
I think you were just checking if that little part right there was a shortcut. It was like, nah, there's just like a little 2-inch high fence that's kind of blocking you off.
Yeah, if you want the shortcut, there's the dust chute down there. That's where you can grind for eternity in this dungeon if you want. And in fact, I do that off screen. That's how I get Magus all of his text.
Is it?
Yeah, because you can... Every time you jump down that dust chute...
Yeah, I know about that, and that's how you got everyone else's text. So I'm like, damn, you do the same thing with Magus too?
It's the fastest way, in my opinion.
I guess, or at least the most consistent.
Because at this point, every single enemy you're fighting that's not a boss is pretty much going to give you the same amount of tech points.
Oh, you went the wrong way.
I did. I'm like, shit. That's why you needed to hit the switch to turn the conveyor belt around.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to
because it gives you... Yeah, you have just enough time to get all the way up there.
Like, wait, why isn't it giving me power?
Wrong one. Turn it up. No, I'm going in the wrong one.
The autopsy report.
Select the autopsy report. One day we will get to that game. I doubt it, though. Because that was supposed to be your game. And now it looks like we're never going to get
too far. Too far.
Ah, damn it.
First you went the wrong way, then you went too far.
Well, obviously the answer to this is the autopsy report. No, that's the police report. That's close. That's very close, but still not the right one.
Just keeps loading and reloading the save state.
For the love of God, just select it. I'll kiss right on the mouth, for God's sake. God! There! Did it!
That's what I'm imagining you doing that right now. You're telling your past self. It was like, obviously, I gotta go to this little thing. No, that's one you've already opened.
I think it's because I'm looking at the player's guide and looking at the map and trying to figure out what's the fastest way I can get over there. And then realized there's only one way to go, so I just have to sprint over there and get there, because there's just enough time to make it. There we go!
Finally.
Sorry that took 3 attempts. I went backwards the second time. I didn't mean to. I knew where I was supposed to go. I just took a wrong turn by accident.
You took a wrong turn at Albuquerque there.
God damn it. And now I'm sitting here just catching my breath going, okay, well, good. That part's done. Can I go fight the boss now? I'm like, I think I can. I think I'm finally done with this. And then I'm like, wait. No, I think there's still one more thing I have to do. I can't remember. It's been like 2 months since I recorded this part. I'm sorry. That's why. Because now we have that robot. And now we can get past that robot that was blocking us earlier. And now this is exactly like that one part in Tales of... And now it's like we're playing Tales of Symphonia 1 and we're in the Shadow Temple. Fuck!
Yeah. Only this one seems a lot less cooperative.
That's because he kept getting stuck on the corner.
Yeah, I know. That's what I meant. Like, even when you guided him up, he started going back into that corner, just like, nah.
Yeah, and now he's stuck on the corner again. It's like, God, this is exactly like the Shadow Temple. Damn it! Come on, robot, get over here. Can't we just pick him up?
Oh, Jesus.
Robo, can't you just carry the damn robot?
Say, no, that would be unethical. How the fuck is that unethical?
Come on, Robo. I've seen you carry things. I've seen you hold a door open.
I've seen you throw a motherfucker. Actually, no, I'm thinking of your other kind. But I've seen your kind throw motherfuckers at other motherfuckers.
It's like that one little corner he's stuck on, and he's not getting around it.
He's like, I don't feel like it. I think it's maybe because he sees the conveyor belt going the other way.
That shouldn't be a problem. I think there's just like that one little corner that he's stuck on that he doesn't want. There we go. See? He kept getting stuck on that corner there for some reason.
Jesus. Wrong way. Wrong way.
No, that was my fault. I turned too early. There we go. See, he keeps getting stuck on the fucking corner. Like, I don't know what happened.
He's like, I don't want to go. Like, you're gonna go. I don't want
to. Do it.
No.
And Magus is like, oh, for God's sake.
He's like, I will end your non-existent robot life if I have.
It's like, I am so glad I don't exist in 1,000 years. Technology, like, whatever. I don't know what this technology is, but it's really annoying. Even though I technically do know what Magitech is, because I technically lived in Magitech world.
Sort of. Barely.
He lived in 1200 BC. That's technically where Magitech came from in this universe.
Yeah.
There we go. And now that we have this, boom. Now that that robot's fixated on the other goddamn robot, we can get the Poyozo doll.
Finally.
And this chest. Vigil hat, which is one of the best helmets in the game. Because I think that prevents all status ailments.
Nice.
And now that we have that Poyozo doll, we can go back to that locked door and go fight the mother computer.
Oy.
We should have been done with this part like 4 minutes ago if that stupid robot would have just gotten on the damn conveyor belt. Yeah, it's technically better than the rainbow helm.
Protects all status.
Yeah, so there's no more confusion, there's no more poison, no more lock. Nothing.
So it's
if you're doing new game... Yeah?
It's essentially like the Feeling Fine badge in Paper Mario. We're just like, nope, no more status ailments.
Yep. So put that on whoever you're going to be using for your main party, in which case that's going to be Chrono, because he's the hardest hitting character in the game, and that's never going to change. I mean, even if you power up Robo all the way with tabs, I think Chrono still hits harder if he's powered up.
Right.
I could be wrong, though. But he also has his sword that gives him like an 80% critical hit, so even if Robo's hitting like 600, Chrono's going to be hitting 800. This might be when I finally start deciding to... Oh, wait, no, I'm using a shelter, because I used up way too much stuff there, even though I didn't. No, I just like using shelters whenever I get to a save point, because why not?
Yeah, it's not like they're really hard to come by either.
You can either grind off of them in that bush, or you can just buy 99 of them, because at this point, you're not going to be spending your money on anything else.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I stopped right before the boss, because I realized, oh shit, this part took a lot longer than it should have.
What was I gonna...
If I didn't have to spend 3 minutes on that robot...
Jeez. Man, what was I gonna say?
And that wasn't even...
Shit, I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Do you remember this dungeon now that you've seen the whole thing?
Sort of. It's still as unmemorable as I wanted it to be.
Is this the most forgettable dungeon for you then? Because I think you said that at the last side quest.
Not really though. I mean, I remember the desert. Then there's the castle with Ozzy, Slash, and Flea. But yeah, that was really about it.
Yeah, and then I jump cut to right where the boss is because you don't want to watch me go all the way around, and plus it's the end of the part anyway. So in the next video we're going to finish up Robo's side quest.
Yeah. But
sorry this took like 3 videos to do, but sometimes these side quests take a while.
It's only 2:30 and I already want a drink. That's a problem. I need help. No, I don't. Not really.